Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 12 Digital Daily Recap. I forgot what I was doing for a sec. Our house guests of the day are Janie B and Isaac Benjamin Songquist. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right, so have you recovered from yesterday? I don't know that I have. I gotta admit, I'm feeling a little bit burnt out today. Did that just restart? Mom, did that just restart? I don't know. Let's do it again. Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 12 Digital Daily Recap. Our house guests of the day are Janie B and Isaac Benjamin Songquist. Thank you again so much for your support. We couldn't do this without you. We appreciate it so much. If you're hearing this for the second time, I apologize, but I feel like the stream got messed up. I don't know. If not, I just looked dumb, but it's fine. Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't have the list of yesterday's super chatters. So thank you to yesterday's super chatters. We really appreciate that as well. And it's another great way to support the channel. So, oh, here they are.
I'm coming.
I had a feeling they were around here somewhere, but I wasn't sure exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
So
Sorry about that.
thank you to yesterday's super chatters. My husband, Sean. Mwah. William Dang, Wendy Will, and Benjamin. Thank you all so much for your super chats. Today's digital daily was a crisp 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I have to say, it was a much needed, like, after the craziness of trying to catch up on like 11 plus hours yesterday. When we left off yesterday, we found out Lexus did not use the power veto. She got spooked. Victoria was pushing to her, hey, if you use this veto and Bailey goes up, you're going to lose Kayla and Avery. They're going to be really upset with you. Also, it seemed like Lexus had found out that, not Benjamin, Elijah was saying there was the chance that Matt could go up as the replacement nominee. So she freaked out. She's like, I'm not using this. Todd and Tola remain on the block. And also Elijah feels like he's been played by Spicy V and Kayla. He says they were trying to pit me and Matt against each other. That's not okay. I don't like it. Flip, frick, all the F words except for the actual 4-letter F word. In response, after feeling betrayed, Elijah spilled mad tea about Spicy V and Kayla to Matt and Lexus, basically being like, these two were trying to pit us against each other, and that's not okay. So Kayla and Spicy found out about that, and they were pissed at Elijah. So it's a whole big mess. Todd was campaigning his heart out at the end of yesterday's Digital Daily. We know that Anthony and his guys' side of the house, plus Lexus, want Tola to stay. But Bailey and her girlies want Todd to stay. Maybe. Bailey, absolutely. The other girls, questionable. Maybe they can be convinced. But like, is anyone going to be willing to go against Anthony's wishes in order to keep Todd? I have my doubts, right? I want to believe yes, because it seemed like Spicy V was really on board with it yesterday and trying to get Avery on board with it. But like we've seen, she's all over the place. So you cannot trust what she's saying one day because it's going to change the next day. So let's talk about the next day. Let's talk about today's Digital Daily. It starts the way last night's episode ended, with Tola discovering that the executive veto is missing from the trophy room, the broken glass. So we don't know if somebody had already gotten it at that point. Maybe they were just like basically announcing that it was going to be coming into play. We don't know if you can use it this week, next week, whatever. We do have a little bit more information about that, which we'll get to at the end, but not a ton. So anyway, Tola's freaking out, right? He's brushing his teeth and he's like, oh my God, what's going on in here? He starts looking all over the room for clues. He starts looking at other rooms for clues. And then we find out the first two people that he tells about the executive veto missing are Anthony and Spicy V. They don't need any more help. They've already been given so much help in this game. Why are you telling the two all-stars first out of anybody else? Maybe they were just the other two people awake. But maybe he's just dumb. I don't know. But everybody else starts waking up and finding out about the missing executive veto. And I just had flashbacks to last season when they were like putting that puzzle together in the library that was going to unleash the twist. And they wouldn't let Renee and the girly pops in the room. And it was like so mean and it felt so like targeted. Like it was not good. I remember that. And ugh, anyway, this was not like that. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, we get to see it. Like we get to see what's going on." You know who didn't go to see the broken glass right away? Vivek. And that was freaking people out. Avery and Kayla are very nervous. They're like, "Okay, why is he not going to check? Like he's supposed to be a super fan. Why is he not even checking on this?" They're panicked. They're also worried maybe one of the evicted house guests will be coming back. And they're like, that's not good because we're the reason that those people are gone, right? We played a big part in that. So they're going to be pissed at us. They're not going to be happy. So then they're saying, we need to run over every scenario and be prepared for them. You don't even know what it does yet. We don't know what it does. So how are you supposed to? I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. But Kayla was also telling Avery, if you do have it and you just aren't allowed to say, I trust you. I don't think anybody had it at that point, but they do start talking about this week's vote and what the deal is. And at that point, they're still undecided. It seems like they're open to keeping Todd, but they do want to hear both pitches first. They want to hear from Todd and Tola. And Avery says, well, if we are going to keep Todd, and we're going to go against Anthony's wishes, we're going to have to tell him and Lexus ahead of time. Boo! What? So they can flip you back? Honestly, this is super annoying as a viewer, but at the same time, I do think if she wants to have any shot at preserving the Hot Chocolate Alliance, I get why she would want to tell Anthony and Lexus, but like, it's just annoying. So Kayla, while she's saying that she's open to keeping Todd, and it seems like out of all the girls, she is the most wishy-washy about this vote. Because I mean, we know that Bailey wants Todd to stay. Kayla is kind of all over the place. She seems to be leaning more towards Tola staying. She's like, Tola comes with numbers. I really like that. Remember, she was proposing an alliance of 8, which would be the 5 girls, Tola, Anthony, and Matt. And this would basically be like the 2 sides of the house coming together and calling a truce and then taking out the people in the middle, like Elijah, Vivek. I feel like I'm missing one other person. No, I guess it would just be the 2 people in the middle once Todd is gone. So seems like Kayla is leaning more towards that, but she's not done waffling. So Spicy B and Anthony have a check-in, and Spicy's like, is there anything I should be doing right now? Like, am I missing anything? She says, sometimes I feel like I should be working on my relationships more with Matt and Tola. No. And Anthony's like, oh no, they love you. You're good with them. Like, they would never come after you. You don't have to worry about it. I've been hyping you up with them. So Spicy's like, well, just so you know, on my end of things, like keeping these girls together and in check, it's a lot of work. And she was basically listing off all the girls and being like, this one's annoying. This one has an attitude, blah, 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 blah. Well, Anthony's like, it's all right. We're doing well. We just got to control the troops. So then Spicy's asking, who do we want out next? Goose? I mean, that would be like a logical choice considering he just blew up her game somewhat. Then she's like, or should I just fix that relationship? I don't know. She does go to bat for Bailey and say, Bailey will never come for us. And Anthony's like, yeah, I know. Does he actually believe that though? Because he was definitely trying to get her up on the block this week. Anthony says, we have to figure out who would be the most likely to come from the 2 of us. And he's wondering, like, would it be Vivek? I mean, he's had his issues with Vivek in the past. Anthony says, I have to tell you something. Matt told me that Vivek told him that he's in an alliance with Anthony, Spicy, and Kayla. Now, we saw that this alliance was formed during Vivek's HOH week when those 3 were convincing him to take out his closest ally, Dennis. And we know that that alliance is BS for everyone in it except for Vivek. But like, Here's the question. Why is Vivek always spilling about his alliances? Why is he telling other people that he's in alliance with those three? It's the same way he outed that East Coast alliance to Anthony. Like, why are you doing this? Is this supposed to be a secret alliance? But anyway, Anthony got a kick out of that. So of course he was like downplaying it to Matt and blah blah blah, whatever. All right, moving on. Elijah and Spicy V clear the air, and Vivek is there for some reason. I don't know why he was there. I don't know if he was supposed to be a mediator just in case it got heated. It did not get heated at all. These two were very calm chatting. So Elijah apologizes to Spicy for the tone that he used when they talked the other day. Because remember, she went in and was like, "Is there an effing problem?" And he was all like, "I don't want to talk to you right now. I want to talk to Anthony first." I mean, I think they both had attitudes in that convo, but Spicy is like, I just don't know where this came from. Like, I considered you one of my main allies in the game. If you say so. She says, I never told anyone anything you said. And she can't believe that he threw her under the bus. Come on now. One of your closest allies in the game, you never told anybody stuff he said. Like, let's be real here. But Elijah says, I realized I totally spiraled. I feel terrible about it. I dropped the ball. I feel awful. And Spicy's like, well, I've never lied in this game. She did not just pull a Mona Lisa Saperstein. I have done nothing wrong in my entire life. That's Spicy V in that moment. Just hilarious stuff. So Elijah says, I feel like I owe you now. And Spicy's like, it's okay. We're good. The air is cleared now. I know it's really hard to be HOH, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, I mean, I don't think the air is actually clear, but, you know, she's just cleaning this up for now. I think she would still target Elijah or have someone else target Elijah for her moving forward. Okay, so then we saw a good portion of today's Digital Daily was just Kayla waffling about the vote to like a bunch of different people. I'm not going to get into it too much because it's pretty boring and tedious, but it's basically just her being like, should we keep Todd or should we keep Tola? Like, what are we going to do? Is Anthony really with us? Well, is Lexus with us? Like, what do we do? So she's kind of doing the most this week. And as I said the other day, I think she really needs to rein it in because it's too much and it's pissing a lot of people off. So later, Spicy and Anthony chat again, and Spicy straight up says, and this is her word, she says Kayla is being a little pussy. I think she also called her a pussy ass. Damn. Yeah, apparently there was some conversation before this where basically Kayla was supposed to express her concern about this vote and be like, are we sure we want to keep Tola? You know, we want to keep Todd. We think he's better for our games, like all the girls. And I guess like when it came time to do that in front of Anthony, she was just like, I don't care about the vote, like whatever you guys want. When Anthony's not there, she's talking like so much crap. So Spicy and Anthony are chatting after that conversation. And Spicy says, all I've been doing this week is trying to get them to vote out Tola. And I feel like this was a slip on her part because I feel like what she would mean to say to Anthony is, I've been trying to get them to keep Tola. When in reality, she has definitely been pushing different things to each side. Like to the girls, she's been saying, like, should we keep Todd? Should we keep Todd? We saw yesterday she was pushing Avery really hard to consider it. And then when she talks to Anthony, she's like, or Alexis, she's like, Tola definitely has to stay. So I think she kind of slipped up there a little bit, but it could have just been an honest, like, mix up. So who knows? But Spicy tells Anthony, the girls don't know how close I am with you. And she says, what's good for your game is good for my game. Yeah, until you get to the end and then he beats your butt. But Avery comes in, and this is really awkward because Spicy asks her to leave, like, immediately. Yikes. I would not feel good if I was Avery and, like, two people who are supposed to be, like, some of my closest allies are like, can you go? That's not good. I mean, that should be a wake-up call for her for sure. But Spicy tells Anthony, there's an issue here. I know that you have me no matter what. But the girls are starting to feel that you don't care for them as much. They feel like Todd is better for their games and that you don't care about that. And again, she's like, I know you're looking out for me, but this is starting to get really sticky for me because I want the girls to think that I have their back completely. But she says, deep down, I know that I'm with you and that's all I care about. Boo! We hate it. Ugh, so she's still just like 100% loyal to Anthony at this point, which is so boring to watch. So she says, like, for example, I know with this vote, Tola is not coming for me, right? I know that you're going to keep me safe with him. You will not let Tola come after me. um, but the other girls, they're worried that Tola could target them. So Anthony's like, all right, I look at it this way. We're both top dogs on our respective sides. Like, people are going to do what we want. Okay. So Spicy then decides it's time to spill information on the girls. She's like, yeah, Avery and Kayla, like they both wanted to blindside you with this vote, which is like ridiculous because Avery earlier I mentioned was saying like we need to tell Anthony and Lexus if we're going to vote for Todd to stay. And I remember Spicy being the one saying like, should we just like not tell Anthony? Should we just blindside him? So I don't know if she's just trying to provoke them and like get them to say stuff or what, but mhm. Um also Spicy's complaining about how the girls say so much stuff behind Anthony's back that they don't end up saying to his face. Mainly Kayla. She said Kayla does that a lot. So then Spicy's like, "All right, I have a question for you. Are we with hot chocolate or are we with Matt and Lexus, which is that final four alliance with Spicy, Anthony, Matt, and Lexus?" And Anthony says, we're with both, right? Whatever we can leverage to get us both to final two. That's what we're going to do. So as of right now, we are working seriously with both of them. And then whoever can get us to the end, that's it. Oh boy. Can you imagine how annoying a final four would be of Anthony, Spicy, Lexus, and Matt? I can't go there. So yeah, like I said, apparently there was a conversation before this with Anthony, Spicy, and Kayla. I don't know if anybody else was there from Hot Chocolate, but Kayla was like crying during the conversation, saying that she doesn't care who goes. The real issue here is that she was making it look like the other girls were the ones flip flopping and not her. And this is going to piss off the rest of the girls because, of course, Spicy is telling them about this. She tells Avery, we're going to have to vote Tola out now. Or sorry, we're going to have to vote Todd out now because of Kayla. How convenient. You know she wanted to keep Tola anyway because that's what Anthony wants. So this is her in to be like, we have to keep Tola because we're going to lose Anthony if we keep Todd. He's not going to want to work with us anymore. So Avery's like, nope, you're right. Kayla, she threw her game in the trash and now this is where we're at. So then Matt and Tola have a chat. Matt says, hey, Tola, you should go promise Kayla and Avery that you won't put them up if you win HOH. And Tola's like, oh, yeah, definitely. They agree that Tola does not actually have to follow through on that if he were to win HOH. You know, basically just say what you need to say in order to stay this week. I could totally see him going after Avery or Kayla if he wins HOH because they know at this point that Kayla has been all over the place and that's not great. Not a great feeling. So anyway, Kayla, Avery, and Spicy V are chatting and Avery and Spicy let Kayla know we have to keep Tola now because of what happened. You know, if we vote Tola out, we're not going to have Anthony, Matt, Lexus, like that little truce alliance that you were talking about. That's not going to be a thing anymore. So Kayla's like, no, you're right. Like, I definitely did not handle this week the best that I could have. And Avery says, well, I hope you guys now see if we don't take care of this problem, meaning Anthony, he is going to make it to the end and it's just going to be the Anthony season. And she says, I don't want that. Then stop playing his game. You are one of the people who is making it easier for him to maneuver in this game and get what he wants. And then those are always the people that are like, he's just going to get to the end. He's going to win this whole thing. Like, what are we doing here? So Avery says, we came here to play as strong girls. And as much as Anthony says he's riding for the Hot Chocolate Alliance, I don't think that's true. I think he's just riding for Anthony and Tola. I don't know about Tola, but yeah, I mean, he's playing for himself as he should, but yeah, he is not loyal to Hot Chocolate. So Avery says he'll do whatever it takes to win. And Kayla's like, I don't know. Like, I think it would be really embarrassing for Anthony to go back on something as big as representation, meaning like to go against the Hot Chocolate Alliance. Girl, he's here to win. All right. There was also a conversation between Bailey and Spicy, which was kind of, it was also about Anthony and how he's going to make it to the end. No one has the guts to put him up. So win something and put him up. Just freaking do it. Oh my God. We know that Spicy's not going to do it, but maybe Bailey, maybe she'll wake up and do it. I don't know. Todd finding out basically the votes are not going to be there, which was a very big bummer. The thing is, though, he was like, the only two people I trust in this house are Bailey and Spicy. So he thinks that Spicy is like good with him when she was not going to vote for him to stay. She was just like riling the girls up basically. So that's really annoying. But yeah, later, right towards the end of today's digital daily, everybody was dressed up. They were all hanging out in the HOH room because they were forced to. It was an HOH lockdown. And then they're all sitting there and Arissa pops up on the TV screen and tells them all to go downstairs. So when they get down there, they see a long executive table set up with swivel chairs, name placards, and microphones. So they're all like, oh my God. They're all nervous. They're freaking out. Clearly, this executive veto twist is coming into play this week. I don't know what it's going to do. Arissa was teasing it on Twitter, like, you're never going to believe what it is. So I don't know. I don't know what this could be. I'm not even going to bother, like, trying to guess. Like, we'll just find out tonight. We got the episode at 9:30 after Survivor. So that's it. That's how today's digital daily ended. So we'll see what it is. I think if nothing were to change, it looks like Todd is definitely going to be leaving. But who knows how this executive veto is going to come into play. We don't know who's getting it. We don't know what it does. So hopefully we'll get some answers tonight. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, Raul says, it's been a while. I don't watch BB Can, but I'll be here for BB in the summer. We'll see you then. Latifah says, Spicy is digging her own grave, and I love it. Somehow she's getting away with it, though. Benjamin says, if Bailey leaves tonight, I'm going to scream. I know. I will be really bummed if, because of the twist, like Bailey leaves. That would be annoying. I don't want Todd to go either, but definitely not Bailey. Wendy, thank you so much. Benjamin says, Spicy, you clearly want that. You're voting out all the people that would help you. Yeah. Oh, Benjamin, thank you so much for the super chat. Benjamin says, I used to feel bad, but I think Kayla and Avery deserve what's coming for them. When Dougie snipes them for Matt and Lexus, they're playing foolish. I would have to agree. I mean, this is the fourth eviction at this point, and it's still not clicking that they're going to have to break from Anthony before it's too late. I mean, they're voting out ally after ally after ally. These are all numbers that they're going to need if they want to have any chance of taking out Anthony. And Anthony is going to notice that Matt and Lexus and Tola are much more loyal to him than Kayla and Avery, who are wishy-washy all the time and always questioning, like, are you really with us? So yeah, I think they're in for a very rude awakening. And unfortunately, by the time they come around to potentially making a move against him, it's probably going to be too late. I don't know that they're going to have the votes to do it. So yeah, big mistake, huge mistake. So thank you again all so much. Benjamin, thanks for the super chat, and we'll see you all later for the episode recap. So until then, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.